Hi everyone, I want to use this privilege to ask you what is the dimension of power, and that is what I am going to treat now, okay? Please pay attention as we solve it together. But before you now write the dimension of power, you have to know the formula of power. What is the formula of power? The formula of power is equals to work all over time. Formula for power is equals to work all over time. It is work over time. Okay. Now, what is now the dimension of power? The dimension of power will now be the dimension of work all over the dimension of time. And work has its own formula. What is the formula for work? Formula for work is force times distance, okay, all over time. Now, and the force has its own formula again. What is the formula for force? The formula for force is equals to mass times acceleration. Mass times acceleration, then times this distance all over this time, okay? Mass times acceleration times distance all over time, which if we now continue, acceleration has its own formula too, which is this mass times acceleration. What is the formula for acceleration? What is the formula for acceleration? Acceleration is change in velocity. Change in velocity all over time is formula for acceleration times this distance that is there all over time, okay? Now let us start. And the acceleration has its own formula too. What is the formula for, and velocity has its formula, and velocity has its own formula too. What's the formula for velocity? Let us start with the mass. Mass times velocity is distance all over time. That is formula for velocity, okay? Let me use this division to represent this one. Divided by the t that is here already, okay? Remember, this distance all over time is for velocity only. Divided by, which I use this form, divided by t, okay? Which is for this acceleration is this one all together, okay? Then times distance, okay? Now, which is equals to, let us start fixing it. Mass, we use capital letter M to represent mass for the dimension. Then for length, we use, in bracket, we use capital letter L. For time, we use capital letter T divided by capital letter T again, then times capital letter L for distance, which is equals to M, then changing this one to be multiplication. If I change this to be multiplication here, it will now be L all over T times, it will turn upside down then, because I'll have to make this one all over 1. So if I change this thing with times, it will now turn upside down to be 1 all over T, which we will now have, L, then T raised to power minus 2. Please check, I have treated separately on how to calculate the dimension of velocity and also the dimension of force and also the dimension of acceleration. So you will see the videos on this channel, okay? So don't be confused here. What you just do is to go back and check it, all right? How it is done singly. Then this one now is for acceleration. It is for this acceleration. Okay? It's for the acceleration is this one, which gave us this. Then times L, this L here. Finally, please don't forget this T down here. Don't forget the T down here, okay? The T down here is T follow, which we will now represent from here to the capital letter T, capital letter T, okay? Then continuing, now become equals to M L square for this one. L times L is L square. Then times now T raised to power minus 3, because this one has to go here, okay, to become minus 3. Which this thing will now be, all of them will now be, if you want me to return it back the way it's supposed to be now L M L square all over T square. This thing now is what I've changed to this, and this is dimension for power, okay? It is the dimension of power. This or this is the dimension of power. Thank you so much for watching, okay? Make sure you like, comment, and share the video, okay? And please don't forget to subscribe or follow. Thank you, and God bless.